I was so excited for this game, Chad. I was talking about it with the guys in the green room.
What did the Harris have to say? Anything good?
Yeah, well, other than they were quite critical of the salad we were eating, but other than that, they were suggesting that EG are their favorite for the conversion here. Now, I don't know about you. I would prefer to see a little bit more resistance out of OG. That was such a harrowing loss on Dust 2. Now we find ourselves in EG's court. Anything's possible. Flames, however, is a big component of it. We even had Rugger in that break talking about Nico and his contributions.
They're already in the B site right now. Valda doesn't really have eyes on this.
Yeah, well, Valda, I assume, is going to be calling for some help from Alexi. Oh, he's burnt out completely. No options. Alexi has hit the only shot he had to.
Bit of peppering up there as well. So 4-on-5 retake. Bomb will go down.
Advantage, I can't help but feel still in EG's court, especially now Flames has gone down. Mihu, 2 clicks of the Glock circ with 1. Breeze is in such a power position here, they can't really clear him. They haven't got time. Oh, so clean on the Glocks.
Looking crispy. What's Mansu going to do here? Just the USP. Armor wants to hold on to this. Lucky to keep his life and actually having a little bit of a look into here to see if he can find a kill. Won't even catch them out the door, really. Bullets in the back. He's in a lot of trouble right now. He can get peppered up and take it down to the bomb. 25. Will survive. He will. Okay, well, could have gone worse for Mansu right there, but that's not the way OG were looking to kick things here off on map number 2.
Far from it.
And I look, I don't want to say it, but I think it has to be said. It was a bit choky out of OG. Right, a bit choky. When you have multiple 3-on-5 advantages, you're having to do a lot to lose those kind of rounds.
Yeah.
Now, EG did all the things right in a lot of those situations, but OG definitely had to drop the ball.
Yeah, I think, there was rounds where it was all EG, it was all Mihu, and then there was rounds where it was a little bit of OG mixed in there as well.
True. All right, well, it is the 4-spy, and it is the B stack. Everybody from OG are heading over here, and so are EG, so we might have a real clash in a second.
They double naded short right now. They would have practically killed 2 people. There's a nade. It's not quite on the mark. The second looks better. And down goes Breeze. Pushing. Oh, wow. Flames has taken Cirque as well. He assumed it was clear. He's met the Deagle. Now an advantage for OG and a recovered AK. They want to juggle that to someone healthy. Mantu will take it. And knowing that they've cut a lot of the momentum out of EG, they will return to A just to try and retake some of that map control they've lost. Stan, look how far away from taking space he is. I thought it would perhaps start getting a wiggle on. He's just going to have to hold spawn.
I think the question here, as far as Stan goes, he's not going to push past this point, right? Or he shouldn't really, because they don't know exactly how much real estate's taken. This smoke right here is going to tell OG more than what it does EG, because that's in the blind spot. They don't know how far forward any of these OG players are. They know they met a lot of resistance. OG continue to comb forward here. So this real estate they're taking is going to make them harder to find in the mid to late round. It still will be this B finish. The bomb in the backyard, Obo at the sandbag position. It is just Valda, the guy on 19 HP left to do all of this.
Yeah, but they've got there in time. Like, they can now just swing that door open just as Obo averted his gaze. Mihu to try and be the hero here, or EG's second round conversion is going to have completely fallen by the wayside.
Stan,
he could. They are distracted. He's got a bit of a messy Galil, but there they are. Bodies dropped, maybe round save. They've got 10 points of health between them. Even I can do that one, Chad.
That's a lot of
indecision. And it looks like they're saving.
Yeah, so much indecision. Stan getting that 2, it almost sent them back in. But you're right, once that quick math of the HP was done, yeah, really shouldn't be having a crack. And 1-1. Saved guns.
So what does this mean now? Like, I mean, EG, you've got 2 armored rifles. There is an AK in the CT's mix.
I can tell you this much. It's more than they would have had if they went down. So the buy is looking...
The 4-spy wars are enhanced.
Yeah, it looks a little bit better, right? It won't just be the smattering of pistols like we can see here. There was no plan to try and facilitate a little bit more to the economy. And OG's buy is looking much better, right? They've got 2 M4s out, an AK-47, 2 SMGs. Mag-10 for Nico, Flames onto the MP9. EG can still make this one work, though, if they want to take it slow and rinse through all this early OG util. I think there was an element of OG late in that game there that was playing not to lose the rounds, as opposed to, making the moves to win them. And sometimes safety can be your undoing. I know it doesn't sound like the right advice to be giving. But I'm not talking about driving in a car and forgetting your seatbelt. I'm talking about taking a pick and winning the rounds. So... different consequences. Whoever wins this one well, not whoever. If OG wins this one, EG should be taking a bit of a save. If EG win, I'm sure we go back and forth with some more of these force buy battles.
Yeah, if it's another one of those 1v1s, bomb down, get ready for the force buy wars to wage for a while.
We didn't get any of this, though, on map number 1, right? It was just long sprees of rounds. I think the shortest spree of rounds we had was 3. So if we do get the tit for tat, the back and forth, might offer us up some scrappier CS than what we've seen so far, even though this one's already had its moments.
Mantu spotted him. I don't know if he
well.
spotted the bomb. Cirque was across, but you don't see much in terms of the CT movements initially. This is going to really explode. It does look like OG have started to get all the pieces of the puzzle into the right place. Valda's rotated through. Mantu to flash for this initial contact. Nico already gets contact as well. Oh, it's perfect. OG, so much info. 2 more long. Alexi screams. Breeze, however, going down to Nico could be a problem, and there it is. All wrapped up. Not a single body dropped, and look at the recovered rifles as well. That's worked swimmingly for OG.
Yeah, beautiful scenes here now. Hopefully, a bit of a buffer can be built off of this as well, because going up against this 1900-ish economy for EG, they don't want to be giving away too many of these guns. So, great stuff, well handled, clean. Just what they needed, and probably a bit of a confidence booster as well here. Was, what was it, 9 rounds, 10 rounds, something like that for EG to close out that last map. So it has been some time since OG have been feeling what a round winner looks like.
Yeah.
What do you think about, I've just been doing some tweeting as I always do, and I was talking about like the stage setup. Let's kind of move away from that. But imagine if we had a 360 and the 2 teams facing each other, and in the middle of the 2 teams on the floor, it's probably like you guys had at TI, where it was, I guess they did augmented reality.
Yeah.
But imagine a bunch of like LED, or I don't know what the technology is these days, but screens on the ground that had, look at our radar in the top left. Imagine that was between the 2 teams. They couldn't see it, but the viewers in a 360 could. So you can see when contact's going to come in quite clearly. It's like a pitch, right? It's painting the picture like a pitch, and then you can look up to the screens to see the first-person action.
Yeah, that was something that Anders and I discussed like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
you know,
he needs to get it with Skybox, doesn't he?
Yeah, he wants to try. I do think there's the more accessible one, the floor that the TI boys had, not only was it augmented reality, but they had it was an LED floor that they used as a giant screen for the minimap as well.
Yeah.
So you walked on the entire floor.
That's what we need.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. You'd have to have the entire audience like in a Coliseum-like structure.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to be sunken downstage and everyone would be on rafters. I don't know.
It's a bit like a pit, yeah, you know?
Yeah, so just give us infinite budget and we'll make a cool CS event.
Please, Valve.
Mantu. Oh, a real opportunity. That jump peek for info. He does pull the trigger on it. Mihu was the candidate.
This is a 4-man A defense right here from OG.
Yeah, and if Alexi steps the line a little early, he would find playground clear. He's not chosen to do so. Flames pushed up. Alexi long. This is the responsibility of Mihu to control and corral this.
This is so interesting that they're just staying put right now. Still a minute 15, and they're just staying in this forward stance.
Like, Valda is so exposed. Hang on. Molly keeps Mihu there on the close corner.
Something's up, though.
Flames looks away. Checks the playground side, and Mihu does best them. Will he assume long is clear? Lexi's there to receive, and perfect pre-fire. Very loud from Mihu, just stomping. Elephant steps towards long. Now they are going into B, and it is wide open for business. Mantu would have to hit the first shot that comes out of his rifle here.
There's no heaven smoke.
Oh, and jiggled just a little bit, unintentionally perhaps. He's got a flash to try and suppress, but the bomb will be planted shortly. Rotates on its way, and who is that? Charging in, Valda just does not release double. You look at him go.
Oh,
he's behind him. He's right next to him. Stanislaw ignored, but Alexi saves his teammate. Valda's down. Bomb is too, but the frags are coming OG's way.
3 for Alexi so far.
Obo can cause a lot of damage here. He knows he can't peek heaven. He has to be focused on this left side. Mantu's in as well. Info and shots, and Obo, sharp as a knife, cuts them down to size. Damn, Obo. Keeps reminding us what he's capable of there. That could have really spiraled out of control.
Little Robo-Obo right there. Someone check his wrist, see what kind of hardware he's rocking in there. This is wild, these last 2.
All of them into the dome. Headshot, headshot. Bam!
That's what you like to see.
That's what we all want to be able to do.
I think too many of us, you know, at that point, crouch, jump, run, hide. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
He's just headshots only. Quite a clear, wow.
Phooey.
Yeah, this is interesting. Alexi getting very vocal now. the setup they had, the fact that Flames turns away, you know, it all felt very, very good in the beginning. And then as soon as that kill comes in, Alexi makes up for it with the triple, but denied in the final phrase of that one. And both teams with a pretty convincing buy. Stand onto that glue. We've already seen him do a lot of work with that bad boy over the few EG matches we've seen. Everybody off the mark early here, so nobody's sitting on that donut just yet. Well, not possible unless we get a couple of TKs in the mix, so that's good to see. The AWP, it does fall in favour of OG here. Cirque will have to wield an AK instead, and Mantu press forward in the bathrooms. A much different setup this time for the CTs. Nico overseeing business as the backup man. Alexi, Flames, and Volda over towards that B site. And it looks like EG have been watching European Counter-Strike, Alex.
It does look like that. Even though it's the default spread. So this is how you take toilets. Underpass a threat. He's got his lineup set up to stop any CT rotations through. Starting to get a bit indicative as to what they're looking for, though, isn't it? And Obo pulling pins. He's heard. Valda can try and punish, and he will. Oh, big find. Team Flash. Balda has underpass, though, and that's going to take a lot of information away now from EG. Are we being flanked? Cirque wants to acknowledge that. Valda, what are you up to? What is he up to? Oh, a dank flank from Valda. He can win the round fully and clearly here. Breeze not ready for that. A second frag found, and now Alexi surely just locks the door. Drop the smoke, and he does. Real shallow. Perfect. EG are in a box, and Valda's the one with the lock. Another victim. He's getting pushed desperately to survive. He actually gets another Valda. Right. 4 frags. Takes the whole Evil Geniuses squad down with an aggressive solo maneuver.
1 HP to his name here. The only player to take any damage so far from OG. And Mihu with 15 seconds left has to save. No other choice.
He lost his whole team to a rogue Dane.
That was a huge round right there. And to consider continuing forward with that push, the reason it seems very unlikely is based on the fact they just got themselves a 4-on-5, right? So unraveling the unknowing EG. And now they'll have to take a bit of a partial investment or a save here. Yeah, just no clue that this was even possible. To be fair, Breeze is coming around the corner ready for it, so it's not like he's had these easy as he likes. This one right here, the dink on through and finishing off Cirque. Great stuff from Volda. That is a big performance right there and a necessary round. It's going to get him up to 5 kills, joining the likes of Alexi and Mantu so far. Obo on the other side with 5 to his name. Just
the preserved AK then. Shouldn't be too much for them to do here.
Can really see how, like, the shift that I can see with EG is maybe there was a few more cooks previously, right? Because Tarek, we know that he's done in-game leading in the past. Whereas now whenever it's an in-game leader's job, Stan's doing the in-game leader's job, unless it's mid-round where he's doing more lurky boy stuff, right? Or they're doing their defaults and he can be a bit lurky. But he's always buying util, he's always dropping his teammates something.
Ooh, wasn't ready for the angle off Valda. Flashed and losing his teammates as well. Cirque's Glock. Yeah, I think he knew what his fate was sealed there. Just tried to stay dynamic, keep moving. And Obo's Deagle, it's not going to find any full lethal connections. A couple of weapon upgrades found, be it sidearms or primary.
Good bit of damage.
And now we get back into the EG driving seat, or at least get to see how they want to steer this ship. That's badass. Steering a ship with the old wooden, you know, like back in the day, like a pirate ship, Chad. Just imagine that big, like, controlling such a large object with just this little wooden wheel, spinning it around. There wasn't power steering back then as well. I reckon you really had to give it a good spin.
Yeah, I'd say your arms are getting a bit of a workout there. And imagine, you're not so worried about crashing unless you're pulling into port. So that'd be really cool.
That's true, yeah.
But the waves, seasick. Yeah. We forgot about that element.
And I wouldn't be cut out for it if they start shouting port and starboard at me. I'd just be, I don't know, I don't even know.
It does sound like, is port the front and starboard? Let's have a Google. Someone let us know.
It's the left and the right side of the boat. Oh, lovely. Mantu's got one, Flames another, and just like that, Evil Geniuses count on Cirque. Keeps it level. That was about to be a round ender. Quickest response, does not let them retreat. That CT aggression comes with a risk, and that is, of course, the response. Alexi has to fall into a more passive setup. Flashed in, Breeze does not choose to push upon.
Okay, well, what this establishes here is actually really good for OG, because now it means they won't be in the onslaught of a full 5-man execute with all the util behind it. It's more of a mid-round now, so it comes down to being a little bit more tight-knit, maybe a little bit more gambly, and look at this risk being taken here by Stan. He's just creeping straight through Monster.
Yeah, and he's gotten a lot now. And he's checked. Valda just doing a late check of Monster. Cirque's got his knife out, not for the first time. Oh, and these deaths, they could all come too easy. EG looking a little lost into round 8. And it posts to 6th.
That was really good. They just forced them straight into B, and then OG completely gambled that it was going to be the B play. So risk taken on both sides there, but paying out for the international squadron. And there's some great shots there from Cirque. Obviously, just damage committed, and with the loss bonus now starting to build, EG are looking at what should be another partial investment here. But this is good to see OG now not struggling on the CT rounds. They're obviously been quite patchy. But the confidence they're building here must be wonderful.
I've seen this before. In fact, Dust 2, they got about 6-7 rounds in CT side in a row, and then EG happened.
I think the thing is for EG right now, with that pace they've been rocking, the slower defaults, there's a lot of room that OG can maybe find some gaps in, like we saw Valda do before. So if they go a little bit quicker on a round like this and only pistols, they're likely to get mince-meated anyway. So it's really quite bleak out there. There's no good option on a map like Ovepass, unfortunately. Have to hope that these Deagles are able to hit a couple of big shots. Re-spammed on down to 41. That nade a little bit too deep, but softens him to 16. The molly as well.
You cannot play close pipe. Ooh, they can, and they do. Not going to be burning on the surf. Breeze, brave. And so is Valda. To keep peeking into these Deagles, like, I don't know, you've got to have some conviction behind your own aim. I don't fancy that fight. He does, and it's Flames that actually best them both. Dunks and finishes off the job that Valda had started onto them.
It is looking a lot more fighty from OG right now, right? They're happy to take these duels. They're happy to get stuck in. Just a complete change up from map number 1.
They're clearing him. He doesn't look ready. He's not. And now a missed shot. This could be 2. Whew, Mantu saves the round potentially there. Stan as well falling to Alexi does lock it in. And that's Mr. Cirque out as well.
I'm sure we're about to see an AWP here. 6.75 for Cirque, so plenty of cash for that. He has just equipped it. And the rest will be getting the AKs in, but a lot of work to be done from EG to level the field in as far as the cash goes. You can see Nico up to 8.5, Valda 7.5, Alexi B just under that 10K mark. So things are going quite well for OG now. Will be a couple of rounds necessary to start breaking that bank. And this is looking like a bit more of a B indication here. Smoke's being lined up fast from the rifles of EG.
And they're in, straight in. This is the change of pace you demanded. Already blood drawn, Stan looking like a man on a mission. He's been silenced, but it's looking good. The evil geniuses thrive. Obo adds another. It's only Flames. And he has managed to make it competitive. The bomb went down. And now a duel between Cirque and Flames. The smoke enables an advance. Trying to fake the jump up. Will Cirque fall for it? Dancing around the pillar. Flame spots the legs. Cirque quick as lightning. Straight on that shot. You only saw like his boots. You saw his drip. Bought them for resale. Classic T boot, $500.
That'll be the next thing. We got gloves, next thing boots.
Yeah.
The one thing you can't see if you look down is your feet in this game. So just a style on the haters. And yeah, Flames, a little bit unfortunate here. Let's see how quick that really was.
So fast. Boom. 7, dude. OG, here we go. They're up against it all. EG's even got Cirque on this AWP. We know he's quick. Will EG be able to get a consecutive T round? That's been that's eluded them this entire half. Stringing 2 together, break the back of the CTs. It's certainly a couple of them are down to Peanuts and Pocket Lint, 350 for Flames and Mantu respectively, 550 on Flames. Another different setup, and Flames is going to get a lot of answers here.
Yeah, this is a lot of info. Look how passive Stan is right now. If Flames stays in limbo here, it is an awkward position to hold. It is likely to catch EG off, and now Valda's here. They will continue to push, so they keep their heads down. That crouch key hit, they can hide from the vision of Stan, who's coming back with the bomb now.
Oh, and Flames is ready. So ready. Stan cannot lose that bomb. Obo's got a lot to do as well. The fact he's taken down Valda, now Flames does have to retreat. Dropping his smoke. He's very inspired play from Flames. He switched on. That's reactionary. That's all mid-rounding. He's managed to get himself out of trouble and keep the advantage that OG was so close to losing. The equalizer could have come with Flames there. Instead, they maintain a man advantage. They're all healthy. Obo posted up on this A site. So if Mantu gets jumpy for info, he doesn't have to with his AWP trained on long.
OG struggled with rounds like this on Dust too.
Oh, and Mantu's been waiting for exactly that. Both of them walking in one by one.
Dealt with easily.
Looking rough.
Oof, okay. Well, looks like Obo wants to retain this AWP here. Makes sense. He's just holding the line to see if anybody wants to step out of toe. Not going to be the case. And yeah, it feels like lacking a little bit right here. EG's fast round looked very good because it was trade heavy. It was a bit more brawly. Slowing down, working in their favor. 8-3 and OG. I want to get excited. I want to say it's looking good, but hard to really tell how this one's going to fall. Timeout, second call for EG.
This was their pick as well. Time to justify it. Don't forget, they picked up the OG map pick. Admittedly, OG losing their map pick has become somewhat of it was an initial trend at least. The argument was that was as they were finding their map pool, and with 2 new players, I imagine again, that process is being undertaken to some extent. Perhaps Ovepass is going to be a whole new world for OG if they can maintain form like this.
I know there's been discussions in the past, I've heard other people say it on different forums or podcasts or whatnot about like Alexi B being quite prep heavy. And when you have a team like EG who is difficult to prep for and you're going into your own map choice, you can take in a couple of false bits of information. Whereas here, it's hard to say on what isn't your map choice. You're always going to come out and try and play your game plan, right? You're not too sure where that Vito is going to go, what EG are going to pick on him with. You always have some inklings. It's just this saved AWP, and Obo's actually going to be retaining it for now. So we'll see how long he gets to keep that before Cirque takes it out of his hands.
We just saw both teams with real nerdy nades, and actually CT throwing a stack nade to the short pipe there. No one was home, but take note if that shows it in the last 3 rounds of play. Long previously was an open and shut case. All Mantu had to do was click his mouse after waiting for 45 seconds. This time, certainly less of a wait, and an ally in the name of Nico. Had a quiet one, hasn't had too much to do. 4 deaths, 5 kills. He's just been hanging out on this long and quiet part of the map. It's not going to be quiet for much longer here. Do they run boost him or just a little booster? Oh,
big sound cue there. Nico's heard something.
He is just in the off angle. If they were to shift, he could be into them. Yo, okay, he actually checked it, but Obo's quick. Now Mantu is getting dinged. Here we go. OG can't let this slip. They can't, and they won't. Nice find. Alexi lines him up as they swing. Battered and bruised, but a 9th regardless. It's only Obo's AWP, and he confirms his location, peeking on it. Not going to convert the first fight. Looking a little lost now here, EG. That was just the hero AWP, saved from the previous, but saved by Alexi. Really did start to get a bit awkward there.
Yeah, maybe some more aggression necessary out of EG. Gun rounds that were fast, or at least the one in recent memory, they found success. It did come down to the wire, that one-on-one that Cirque won. So what's the call here? Looking more like the default spread, but Breeze over towards the B site to assist. Obo down to connector. Cirque and Mihu dealing with this A aggression. Alexi B very, very quick here. Maybe undetected. The Flames might...
Oh, that is a lot of pushing. 1 minute 37, he's killed Playground.
That's going to force their hand here. Cirque's already heading back towards B. It's scramble time now for EG as they're going to get locked on in.
He's straight in. He'll get checked. Valda's ready, and the crossfire is established. 2 bodies already on the ground for EG. This only gets worse. Obo has changed many a mind. He's have to do a whole lot. Valda's so ready, though. He's adding more kills to his tally. Now Cirque dancing around the pillar. Multiple targets. A missed shot is all it takes. 10 for OG on EG's map pick.
Okay.
And the tease, I mean, we talked about it. The fact that they haven't been getting bombs down, the fact that they haven't been able to get any 2 rounds in consecutive fashion. Look at the rush from Alexi. I'm calling that a rush, never mind a push. 1 minute 40, he's already in Playground. Takes the frag at 137. And as you discussed, I mean, that was a round winning. It pushed them all in towards B. And the rest is history. Valdo passes his test again. 15 now for him.
Here's the B-rush again. Cirque throwing that same smoke as earlier. So they're just going to channel through Monster here quite fast. Molly to barrels, flashes are good. It's only Valdo Flames here. Wait, Alexi just got hit too.
Nobo's in. He's got a lot to clear in that smoke. He's looking for targets. Alexi goes wide. Bomb falls through, and so does EG. Oh, they've run out of ideas, Chad. How have they run out of ideas?
Yeah, when you come in, this was their map choice. Maybe just trying to punish. Stan trying to make it work with the P250. Gets 2 for his troubles. That's great, but all in all, with the scoreline at 11-3, we might be in for a quick second map. That's the thing, right? This EG team, you heard from Breeze in that interview piece where he basically got into Europe within, what was it, 24 hours before they had to start getting things underway with media and whatnot. It has been a more difficult time to travel, as everybody at home, I'm sure, is aware. And then you look at how long Mihu's been in the team, before that, how long Obo's been in the team, and now the departure of Zeus. So Stan was saying they're trying to do things as they used to, so there's going to be a lot of adjustments there and some approaches. The playbook being a little bit light on as well. That's just the nature of not much time, right? You can only build that with time. But OG really looking for this 12th here. This would be a quick way to forget what happened on map number 1. Just come out with a statement in map number 2. 12-3 in the first. If they're able to close it out quickly in the second, yeah.
That would be a statement. We do talk and often see 11-4 be deceptively dominant. So maybe that 12th is all it takes just to avoid that OG, or rather common Counter-Strike conundrum.
Bit of voodoo, I think, and work with that scoreline.
Yeah. Peeks in. He'll have a chance onto 1, but he's likely to get swung. Tight line, big find. Mantu advances, commits. And the smokes may save him, buying him time to go wider. We've seen this be a problem for EG before. When they concede that opening kill, sometimes it looks like plan B was not quite as ironed out as it needed to be.
Yeah, they just look stifled, don't they?
Yeah.
Caged. They don't have a reaction to fall back on. They're just waiting. So if they continue forward, maybe OG will over-rotate, but they're still looking very fortified on this A site. Mantu, Nico in the site, Alexi B now in a forward position. This is looking great for the 12th.
Oh, Mantu misses his chance. Alexi does not. Makes good on his promise. Now they're in. Stan, short-lived, found. Valdo has pushed to Optimus, and that bomb's going to be contested. Not if Cirque defends. 9 seconds, another frag from Mihu. They actually can do this. They're doing it. Cirque, however, caught out, tries to deny the plant, finds Mihu. Flames is doing it. This is great. Pushing in. Look at him. Stand up. Take the high five. Take your time. Oh, he loves it. Flames, that was spicy.
He's feeling himself now.
He had to contend with 2 of them. He knew Mihu would have that downtime off the bomb, drawing his weapon. Flames with a 1v2. We'll take that. 12 for OG. Could very well be a short stint on Ovepass. Our second map of the series, and OG dominate.
What we learned from the qualifier is that we are like a really solid team, and like previously we've had our different difficult times against the tier 2-3 teams, so getting through qualifiers as we did is always good for a team that just made changes like we did, so we can see like where we are at in competition form.
Yeah, I joined EG 3 months ago, and we've gone through we haven't had like a stable team and had time to really play together. But now coming into this boot camp, we're gonna have that, and I think it'll be better integration moving forward, and it'll just get better over time.
thoughts that drag us down. The same new horizon right before our eyes. With arms wide and so strong, soaring through the sky. It's a great escape. It's a great escape. Every one of us lighting up this city. Every one of us lighting to New York City. Every one of us lighting up this city. Every one of us locked up to see the end.
Well, this is a cliche, but pistols are really important, especially when you're down 12-3. EG map pick. They did take Dust 2 away from OG. And this is not for elimination, quite the opposite. This is a product of hard work and success. OG and EG are now battling for a spot in the semi-finals of IEM Summer. A lovely bye, and more importantly, Chad, avoiding Gambit, the notorious Gambit. I think neither would like to have their fate decided by a battle with them. And when bye to the semis would get you there. Obo's aggressive. Mantu evades the flash enough to convert. And now, again, I can't believe I'm saying it, EG at the disadvantage after the opening frag.
Yeah, look, the numbers are in that first half. EG only managed 3 opening kills, and they got 3 rounds, right? So OG have been doing fantastically well in finding these openers.
Chad, did you just back up what I said with a stat immediately? That was so cool.
It's crazy. Sometimes the stars align.
Oh my God. 3 for 3. Okay, well, not this time, unfortunately. They have to overcome the odds. Mihu's bullets just not quite hitting the mark, and no one's are. OG sprinting towards the site. Stan and Cirque needing a hero moment. And I'm not even talking like, you know, red cape here. I'm talking sword from the stone, the impossible type hero moment. Something like that to start. And oh my goodness, Cirque is making a strong case here. A 2v5 though. Come on now. That was just for fun. The fun stops now. Flames isn't going to get checked. Cirque hasn't checked him. And now Cirque is on for something special. One more bullet could have done it. Flames brought down to 4. If that had just been the head, Cirque does everything in his power to say no to OG's 13th. It's there regardless.
Oof, okay, gave it a crack. Made me a little bit nervy.
Yeah, when I see Chad's back getting straight in my peripheral vision, I know that he's enjoying something he's seeing. Let's see how this one shaped up. So that's the opening kill. That's the loss of one of their very best, and it only got worse from there until Cirque arrived. And this second shot, I mean, the first is lovely, but to be ready for this little headshot angle,
I don't think Nico's super aware of how much of his head was actually showing just there. This is the last chance saloon here from EG. The force buy's in. Scout Deagle's potent mixture, but they have to land these shots, and so far it's been evading them on these entries. Let's see. Can Cirque's aggression towards Long here change their fate? Multiple players down towards the underpass. Mantu leading the charge with the AK-47. Has one in front of him. Tapped on up. Obo tickled on down to half.
Come on, Obo. You don't want to be that next death again. Woo!
Okay,
changes his fate. Changes his fate. We know EG can convert. 4-on-4, and Cirque's advance is met by Galil. OG just always alert for these.
Flames is fantastic, isn't he? You're really seeing him coming to his own. Picked up as a bit of a rookie here.
He's got another, I reckon. Oh, not easy with the Galil. His teammates there for him. Alexi will take the kill reward as well.
You might want to get that AK from Mantu's corpse. Nico could probably find his way over there to pick that one up. And, well, all the fragging over on A has forced EG to look for info elsewhere. You can see Mihu and Breeze both going for a little bit of a looky-loo towards T-spawn. And it doesn't appear OG are going to be running back into their hands anytime soon. So rifles have been picked up. Those SMGs left on the floor. And for EG here, if the scoreline wasn't 13-3, maybe they'd consider holding on to these to use it in the second crack for the next round. But right now, they may as well. They really may as well. This is a bleak position to be in here. Hoping that something was left behind, hoping that anything can be picked on up. I don't even get the timing.
Yeah, there's a Mac-10 they've found, but... Oh, no. 2 to the back of the head. Not easy. Breeze does eventually hit it, and the bomb's down ahead, so...
All right, flashes.
Hail Mary through the smoke. Alexi's head expected, and it was presented. 2 flashes on Mihu. There's an AK.
Plant.
Not easy for the afterplant. Nico can hold from bank, and I think Mihu's well aware that that's what they're probably up to. Oh no, Mihu's shadow is spotted out. He's caught completely off guard, and Breeze is the last victim. Here we go, OG 14. And that last chance saloon is closed for business. EG down to the doldrums now. And Inferno, should we require it, when we require it, is our 3rd map.
That should be a good one. I think both of these teams on Inferno, right, have a bit more depth in terms of their playbook, look a bit more comfy, have some good players in good positions. Lexi gets himself that AK there in the end of the Flames. And let's just see how quick OG can make this one, really. That's what this comes down to with 3 USPs, a P250 and a CZ75. So, yeah, cool. We could pretend that this one might be exciting, but really, it should be swept under the rug as number 15, and OG then just have to make sure they avoid the choke scenario of a full, 12-round comeback required to take us to OT. We've seen some comebacks in our time. Remember that Dust 2 one we were doing late last... Was it this year? When? Okay, I've completely lost track of time.
That was a Virtus Pro comeback, wasn't it?
Yeah, that might have been this year. To be fair, we are in June.
This year.
It doesn't feel like we're in June, the 6th month.
Yeah, I was writing the date today, and I was like, it's 6. That does mean... That marks halfway through the year.
Yeah, it's
Whoosh.
going quicker and quicker. Rushley, how you doing in there, mate? We haven't checked in with you today.
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, 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 my name's Rushley, what up?
Yo, yo, yo. Yo, it's getting scary, boys.
Yeah?
A couple more last chance saloons, I think.
I don't think you get a couple of last chance saloons.
Well,
I think the purpose...
It's the last chance.
I just like the saying. Last chance saloon. It's very nice,
when you hear
guys.
us say things, Rush, you go, what are these clowns on about? Because half
I just
the time,
repeat
I
a
don't know
lot
what...
to MC. Every now and then, I sync up perfectly with you guys.
Okay.
Like when Alex said last chance saloon, I just said it. MC went crazy. He couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow. Well, it's sad we don't get to hear MC as well. We could have like everybody on the mic. Bastion chiming in.
It would be nice. Yo, check this out. Watch this.
Baby.
See this? Look at that. Nice. All right, take it away, boys.
Rush, we got
Almost
many...
got it.
No, it's all right. This round, there's nothing happening. This one's done. This is a formality.
Right.
You got any reviews on the window workshoppers?
What do you mean?
Well, has anyone tweeted you and said, hey, Rush, that was really nice content. I
Yeah,
want
a
to see
few
more?
people.
Or...
They went out on the socials. If people
Okay.
don't know, we have this window workshoppers thing where Chad and I look at some stuff on the workshop.
That's the one.
Well done.
And there's a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah.
And we play them and we talk about them and give them a little
Rating.
bumps out of 5. Knife? Oh,
Maybe in the future, if it gets a little bit more popular, Rush, we can look into having a server hosted with the maps on for people to maybe play on at home.
I would like that. It'd be cool.
All right. Well, we'll see what we could do. We'll see
All
what
right, boys.
strings we can pull.
Last chance saloon here. Let's go.
That was Rush Lee. Anyway, it's the last chance saloon for EG. Oh, I've just ruined it. I don't think I can ever say it again.
Thanks, Rush.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it was something that me and Lauren were saying 10 years ago, so perhaps it is time to retire it.
We haven't been doing it for a while then, but it's 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I was casting when I was 16. That was 11 years ago.
The time machine. Can we go back and talk to our former selves?
We were talking as well, and we realized just how we really shouldn't be put in next to each other in casting, because we're not original, we're just the same person. we do the same thing. We've worked together for so long, we just became a caricature of each other.
Yeah, but it's infectious, the two of you.
Yeah.
I think the rapport that you guys have, that's the thing that people love, is just the way you bounce off of each other. And you can, obviously, the silliness, it shows that you're genuinely friends.
Yeah, but then she says malleable, I say malleable.
Okay.
We realize we are just two of the same. And this is the big round, of course. It's moved back into the Counter-Strike. Fortunately, they've been very respectful of our tangent. They've gone for the full default spread here, and I understand why. This is OG's chance to just finish it cleanly. I think playing not to lose, as we saw on Dust 2, it's not going to be a component of at least a couple of these rounds.
Yeah, it really turned the screws here if they convert. And I'm sure, Alex, at home there's an EG fan sitting on the edge of their seat thinking, why are these guys talking about this stuff when my team...
Don't they realise they're doing it?
They're not doing it. And you're about to see why. Flames, 22 kills. What an animal.
He's comfortable, isn't he?
Look at all this territory they've grabbed as well here, OG. They forced a rotation out of the geniuses. They've got 3 players over towards A. Me, who's in a forward position here, being escorted by Cirque. So a miss from either could be their demise. Alexi's about to peek this position, and Cirque's just dipped on out.
Oh, that's a horrible death for me, who Cirque might be able to justify it if he didn't miss. Falling apart at the seams, a shadow advantage. Cirque looks away, now swung on. Nico takes him down. It's all cooked.
10 seconds, though.
Maybe the bomb. It's not going to make it in. Nice find. It's Obo to save the day. Flames too late. Way too late. Could put another 10 seconds on the clock. He could have done something with that. But yeah, you're right. The clock, I kind of lost track of it. They did take so long in their default by the time the contact came. Destabilized enough by Obo. Okay, EG. Up against it, of course, but I'm just looking at the OG buy.
I feel like they should buy. And the reason I think they should buy is because there was only a few members left for EG at the tail end of this round, right? So yeah, we can see the rebuy, but there's also a Famis in the mix, light on util for Obo. They don't all have mollies, they don't all have all the goodies they require, and it isn't a full force buy out of OG. It will just be the AK to Volda.
2 of them are at spawn still.
Yeah, I guess this is a late discussion. Look, it makes a lot of sense as well to take the more conservative approach here. You've got a big buffer of rounds. Why do we rush it? Let's not let it get away from us. But there's always 2 trains of thought on this. The other is, if we do buy up, we could break them here. And not just break them financially, just the game. So there is a chance for things to start to get out of control and EG to work on a buffer, get their confidence going, start to really get the pace for the game. It's going to be a B finish once more, and through Monster they go.
I mean, there's grounds for this to work, right? The fact that the setup right now reads 3-2. Now, Obo was great. Breeze only a FAMAS. But the AUG is a powerful weapon, especially at this kind of graffiti long range. Those headshots come easy.
There's no nades, though. If they get overrun...
Well, precisely. My point, I didn't get to finish it, was that if that bomb goes down and those D connect enough to make space for a plant, Valda could certainly defend that plant. This armored AK-47. Me, who looks like he's starting to maneuver back. Breeze and Obo will have assistance. And this is what they were looking for. Breeze. Oh, wow. Even a dink into Valda, trying to finish the job. A bit overextended, but it seems like the weapon from Valda fills the feed for just once. And EG will make it 5. AKs indeed is a little treat for Mihu.
They found themselves in that situation again, OG. Right? They went for a partial investment there, and they have to go for a partial investment again.
They do. We've seen this on Dust 2, but they didn't have 15 last time.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Kassad's view on this when they get to the desk, if he can discuss maybe... Obviously, there's no perfect call, right? There's definitely no... But just to hear the logic on that, because I could be completely out of line here.
But I thought... okay, so and I'm even more out of the loop than you are. But I thought the conversation was summarized briefly as much less double ecos. And we've seen OG, one of the few teams that do have a habit of falling into this double eco. Admittedly, when you have an advantage such as this, it's harder to point fingers.
It just almost feels like 2 freebie-ish rounds, right? So the scoreline at the end of this one will read 15-6.
Or is that just, you know, hindsight? Captain Hindsight slapping us because we've seen OG's half buys not work at all?
Sure.
You know, we see some teams, Deagles and Kevlar, and a support AK, and it works swimmingly.
Yeah, I think it obviously depends on the reason that this is the problem is because we knew that they were going to have to take either a save or another partial in the next, right? If it was you have enough where 3 players can get out AKs or Galils, or you can drop some stuff across, and then you choose not to do that, what you're almost playing for there is perfect CS. And it's one of the traps that I used to fall into as an in-game leader was, all right, well, to win this round, everybody needs to have all their nades, all their rifles, all their guns, or we're not going to win, right? Because how are we going to defend? Well, you defend by having different setups, by going for different plays, using the clock to your advantage. The game has become so much more evolved that the old caveman thinking like I had, where all goodies for everybody is good, is not the only way of thinking anymore.
Breeze will eat that flash. Oh, and Valda converts before the vision's restored. One more of those. Barrels to be checked. He's not looking. Oh, and Obo's the one to find it. Comfortable in his solo site defense. And look close, but not close enough. So, Evil Geniuses, they've dealt with 3 attempts here on map point for OG to take us to 3. Now, after that double soft round, we're going to be getting all of the Kalashnikovs and even an AWP 4-man too.
In this hard round.
Much harder.
All right, let's see. What are OG going to look at doing here? Will it just be a default spread, or do they have something planned out the gate? We can see Nico heading over to babysit the backyard of the B bomb site. Boulder down to connector. The trio of Alexi, Flames, and Mantu as the entry pack over towards A. Alexi naded on down to 34. He's been softened up with that bomb on his back. Unconfirmed damages. Stan and Cirque have no idea if it connected.
Look at that tiny slither gap he's peeking toilets with.
Oh, and this is a lot of pressure.
Nico, he's just got a one-on-one and he wins it by a gnat's wing. Damn, dinked as well.
That's
Over
what
to
you're hoping
long.
for.
OG, 4 frags away. Stanislav does seem to be pulling the plug on long contention. He's actually going to use that smoke to great success to sneak all the way back to site. Cirque's guarding the hunt.
Can still fall apart for OG, you know. Nico's
Easily.
low, Alexi's low. It's a 2-2 spread. Still decent nades. Kits are in play. Cirque hits this. It's looking very likely to be an A finish here. 3 smokes, a couple of flashes, no mollies. So, EG, they're not in the worst of positions here, you know.
Cirque, he's going back towards long. Molly might force Alexi into the site, and it has. He's straight in, he takes the fight, and it's all OG. The defense rattled, and the round likely won. The map too. Valda wants to finish it here. Wow, brings the fight to Nico and Obo. Excuse me. And only Mihu, poor soul. The impossible handed to him on a silver platter. And it slips through his fingers as he advances.
He's out of time.
So Inferno is the map we require. We'll be seeing it shortly. OG return fire, taking EG's pick away from them. And this battle for an avoidance of Gambit and a semi-final spot continues and wages on after the analyst desk. We'll be right back with the break.